What's happening, guys? Lawson here. Today we're going to be going over some tips for fishing salt water in the fall. Got a bunch of different lures out of my mystery tackle box. We're going to be chucking it to see if we can tackle in some snook, reds, trout, tarpon, jack, sharks, anything that bites, we're all for it. And I'm going to try to give you some helpful tips while we're out here slinging baits and catching some fish. So we are going to get right into the good stuff. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? A snook just ate that off the wall when it landed. Holy cow. I did not expect that. Oh my gosh. I had just now picked up that hybrid shrimp by Live Target, and I was just like cycling through all the different lures I had, and I wasn't really getting hit on the paddle tails. I just didn't think they were a big enough profile, so I picked up the shrimp, throw it across the front side of that wall, and it literally hit the water, and the snook came up and popped it on the surface. That is too good, man. That is too good. We got a bluefish, we got a snook, we've seen some mondo sized jack crevalle. Oh, this boy's just digging, man. It's a great size snook too. Whew, that is a quality size snook right there. Probably about a 25, 26 incher, but just a super healthy fish, man. Absolutely stellar. I was just so stoked on that fish coming up and eating right on top, and on an artificial shrimp too, that hybrid Live Target. Super cool, man. Just all I can say is work structure. If you're trying to catch snook, structure is your friend. That's where you want to be working it, and that's where you're gonna find them. Beautiful, beautiful fish. We're gonna go for a release right here on the back side. This is a Savage Gear mud minnow. That was just a little like 3.5 inch top water, but this is gonna be dynamite. Right now during the fall, more than any time of year in Florida, there is an abundance of finger mullet around from the mullet run, and this is a killer bait to be throwing. Something that just looks like a perfect little finger mullet. And right behind us, actually, I saw some pelicans busting up on some bait, and that probably tells me that there's probably some snook and jack and tarpon around here as well. All right, something to be looking out for when you're fishing. I mean, this could apply to literally any time of year, any body of water. Birds are your friends. Sometimes they're annoying and they'll try to dive bomb your lures, but for the most part they're your friends, and they're gonna tell you where the bait is. And if you can find the bait, most of the time the predatory fish are gonna be there. So we've been seeing this pelican dive around here and hammering some mullet, so there's gotta be some fish also underneath eating these mullets. So we're gonna throw this little mud minnow around and see if we can just work this top water and get a jack or a snook to come up and just drop the hammer on it. The birds are feeding, the fish should be feeding with them. Oh my gosh, look at that, come on. Oh, there we go. Bluefish, that's what I'm talking about. That is sick. Working this mud minnow right across this area where the pelicans were dive bombing. Just like I said, we're gonna work that top water and see if there's any fish chasing them around too. This is a nice Florida blue right here. During the fall, these guys seem to show up. They migrate south. That's so good, man. Too good. He absolutely choked that little top water right there. One of the coolest parts about fishing the fall in Florida is these guys really show up. You can catch them year round, but during the fall they migrate south from, you know, New Jersey, New York, all up north, and they come on down, and they are just such a fun fish. They love crushing top waters. They love fast moving baits. They got gnarly teeth. You can throw them on the smoker and they're good to eat. Such a cool fish, beautiful blue, awesome. All right, we're gonna send Buddy back home right here. Oh. Swing him side to side, get him moving. He's on his way. All right, we are gonna keep tossing. Maybe we can whack a few more blues. Maybe there is some jack or snook or tarpon in the mix. That's got me pretty fired up, man. That was only like my third cast of the day. We're on a blue. Something that I always do, and I'm very, very vigilant about, is retying after catching a fish. Not always, but I always like to check and see if there's any sign of wear and tear on your leader after catching a fish. Don't be lazy, just retie it. You really, really need to watch out for it on snook, tarpon, and bluefish. Snook and tarpon just have such abrasive mouths, and bluefish have really sharp teeth. So always be checking, because it's gonna be like the biggest bummer of your life when you just caught a 20-inch snook and he frayed you up, and then the next cast you hook a 40 and he breaks you off super easily because your leader was already super weak. So I know it's annoying, but just take the time, retie your leaders. Okay, so we just released that bluefish and retied, and I'm sitting there kind of making my way back towards where I caught that fish, and I hear something just getting absolutely hammered up along the seawall here. Now, if you live in an area that has a ton of human development like I do, don't feel down. I feel like a lot of times you think it's not super wild, so they're not going to be some good fish there. I catch a ridiculous amount of fish off of man-made structure. These birds are still hammering away. So snook, jack, they love pin and bait against walls, and there's a lot of bait right here. So make casts up against structure. We got this top water here. We're gonna throw it up as close as we can to the wall. Not even close enough, man. I'm telling you, you will be shocked how close a fish will eat a top water. They will pin it against structure. They'll pin it against walls. They'll pin it against dock pilings. Get on up in there. Oh my God! That just broke me off. Oh, that was a big fish that just freaking hammered me. And there's metal stanchions coming off this wall, and he instantly just turned right into it. Oh, heartbreaking. All right, we're gonna slowly start closing things out for our little fall saltwater fishing tips video here. And we'll do a little bit of a review while we're just making our last few casts of the night here. Some things you guys need to keep in mind. Birds. Birds are your friend. I mean, any time of year, but especially during the fall in Florida where there's so many finger mullet around. The birds are following the schools of finger mullet, and the fish are following them as well right underneath. We saw a pelican diving, pulled up, made 2 casts, whacked a bluefish on a top water. Made another cast right after that, get broken off by what I assume was a really big jack. Number 2. Oh my gosh, a mullet just hit the side of our boat getting chased by something. Number 2. Be consistent and be vigilant about checking your leader and tying your leader. It's gonna save you that heartbreaking moment of losing a giant fish because you were too lazy to take 30 seconds and retie. I promise you, it is gonna be worth it. Those 30 seconds will be all worthwhile when you land a big fish, and you will be so mad at yourself if you get broken off because of that. And third, final tip, structure. Structure is where it's at. Sometimes it's man-made structure like we're fishing today, hopping some walls and docks, and other times structure refers to, you know, what's on the bottom, grass, mangroves, tree stumps, any type of structure. Oh my gosh, I just got hammered. Any type of structure holds fish. Right now we're pulling these fish off of a wall, but there's a drop off the wall and a nice channel edge. That's where fish are gonna be. You don't wanna just fish in the middle of nowhere. Go to where the fish should be. Hopefully some of these tips will help you out this upcoming fall and winter time, and you can get out there, crush some blues, reds, snook, tarpon, jack, whatever it should be. Just keep those 3 things in mind, and you could be in good order to whack some fish. You know, hopefully you guys enjoyed some of these quick tips and tricks and enjoyed a little bit of good fish catching action. I appreciate you guys. Thanks to Mr. Tackle Box for letting me hop on here, and hopefully you guys get out there and crush them.